Hi, Alan. I think the first question is from Aska regarding your recommendation of typo squatting detection. How do you envision it to be differentiated from legit names that look similar?
Sure, and that's a good question that should involve some kind of different consideration. So from looking at how GitHub does a lot of work kind of in that area at the moment, we noticed that there is their use of verifying different organizations. So we think that having that model is pretty good. And in terms of incorporating some type of typo squatting into it, we think that having typo squatting be sort of used on top of those specific verified orgs might be the more important way to approach this problem, where rather than, like taking typo squatting detection and employing it across every single organization or user, which of course does create its own problems for people who do choose to, for some reason, create accounts that are somewhat similar, potentially even for a legitimate reason. So again, just really having this sort of detection applied to larger, more critical and verified organizations might be a really nice first step to kind of mitigating such problems and threats.
Great. Thank you, Alan.
I have a question. If I don't see anybody else here, can I go ahead, Fanny? Okay. Yeah. So Alan, great talk, great delivery as well in the recording. So thanks for that. I guess my question is about the forks, right? Because it seems like the malicious actors, I mean, they wouldn't need necessarily to use forks. Like I was thinking about the confusion attacks, especially. They could simply, I guess, upload any new repository and keeping it updated and inject whatever malicious code in them. So is there like a concrete advantage in using the forks? I'm not a very experienced GitHub user, so maybe I'm missing something.
Sure, I think the most important thing to think about why forks are almost more advantageous than traditional repositories is the fact that forks are not primarily indexed by search, unless forks themselves have a lot more stars than the parent repository themselves. You cannot really be able to search and query for them as a security researcher. So if we do want to do a more comprehensive study to kind of understand what kind of compiled executables do exist in the ecosystem, the ones that are present in forks will not be transparent to us. And that makes it a very, very strong sort of web storage solution for folks who do choose to spread malware on the web and hope that it does not get detected and attributed to them quickly.
Is this just as a quick follow-up? As a security researcher, like how would you query? Because I'm thinking about the binary specifically, which was one of the focuses of your talk. How would you query? Like if it was indexed, right? Is there any trick that you could use to quickly find repos that have malware in them?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question. Because there isn't really strong, comprehensive ways that GitHub at the moment is allowing you to sort of make queries for executables. They do want to prioritize your ability to do semantic search on code, which of course they are developing technology through their new their new code search beta technology. But for compiled executables, that doesn't seem to be a priority. And as a result, it seems very difficult at the moment to be able to do more comprehensive search for binaries, which does again make sense. And again, does make it harder for security researchers who do want to filter down and make much more, you can say, expressive queries about what is going on with different binaries. I do believe that you can, I guess, do like searches for like MIME types or, approximating the path when you're doing code search. But again, it is not very useful for security researchers like us who want to know much more detail without making more expensive calls to the platform, pulling them down and doing much of that work ourselves.
Thank you.